Welcome back to this week's episode of How to City Hall, and we hope that you have been enjoying the episodes thus far. This week, we once again have the male candidate for 2026 for the Patriotic Alliance for Nelson Mandela Bay in studio, Mr. Bailey Mai. Mr. Bailey, how are you doing?
As usual, ons Baizani, my friend. It's always good to be back. It's always good to bring the nuggets. And I must say that the community has been responding very well. Your questions you've asked, we are dealing with them in these episodes to come. And thank you so much for everybody that said this is eye-opening. Because not many of our residents are clued up with politics.
It's news.
Right? And sometimes we rely on a newspaper or we rely on some fabricated thing in social media, and we make that our truth, right? So at least in this platform, you can get actual events, and you can get parties that will tell you exactly what they will do. Like us, the PA, we will tell you what is our stance and how we're going to fix the city, department by department. So it's good to be back.
Awesome stuff. Thank you so much for being here. So, family, allow me to ask you one favor. So, as we have noticed that majority of our viewers are actually not subscribed. So, if you are getting value from this, and if you found out about a specific topic for the first time and learned how it works, remember what this podcast is all about. It is politicians coming on here and making it clear to us, so they explain to us who they are, what they are about, so we can understand, and then towards the end of this year we can make an informed decision. So the ask that I have from you is that you please subscribe in order to make sure that you get a notification the next time we upload another episode. So this week on our topic we have sports and recreation. So as most know it, SREC, and it's an important topic, important directorate, and it touches residents of Nelson Mandela Bay on a daily basis. Yeah. So some would say it's broken, and some would say it's non-functional. Some would say, you know what, especially if you are currently responsible for it, you would say no, it's 98%. I had someone here speaking about their ward, and they said everything's 198%. And so you knowing me that I just let that slide. But share with us in layman's language what this directorate is about, and how are you planning on fixing it, because it's not functional at this point of time.
Okay, so sports, recreation, arts and culture, right? That is what it stands for. It's SREC, but we call it SREC. Now, the sports factor alone in that acronym is what I would probably say one of the most important, right? We've got a saying in PA. A child in sports is a child out of courts. And that is the reality that we see, right? We have heroes coming from our neighborhoods, right from Galvandale, Boysen Park, Shorterville. We've got heroes that has thrived in sports. But then the same people that they went to school with is maybe ending up in courts, right? And the difference was the one spent time on the field when the other one spent time on the streets. Now, how do we balance that? So the sports factor is one of the biggest challenges in Nelson Mandela Bay, right? If you follow us on social media, you would see that recently the PA went to a school called Cederberg Primary School. At that school, we went in with a full package and we brought back Athletics Day after 20 years.
Yes, we saw it.
Now 20 years is that children that ran there.
They've never seen it.
They don't know what it is.
Because they're not even 20 years
Their
old.
parents were the last people that did that activity at the school. The PA came in at the request of the school, of course, and they said, we haven't had athletics for 20 years. Cederberg has not been participating in athletics on an inter-school level, but this year they wanted to.
Yes.
But before they join other schools, they wanted to make sure the kids know exactly, jy hardloop straight, ne?
Yes.
Twee lijne, twee wit lijne, jy bly in die middle.
Sure.
Because the kids never had sports. in school,
Wow.
especially athletics. We went in there, it was a huge, huge success. One of the children, she came in third, derde plek. She started to cry. Within minutes of us starting, people in Boyson Park were chatting on the groups and say, hey, the peers, ABC daar werk, kom ons gaan kyk, kom ons gaan kyk. And the people, amper sê ek the ouers, but the parents, not the residents, started lining up the main road with their
Yeah.
cars, standing against the fences to look for the first time after 20 years what's happening. This girl who came third, she cried. Her mother came in school and she spoke to her. We were worried. Hoe kom hierdie kind? Ek hulle as ek laaste kom ja.
Yes.
Staan maar.
Joy.
The child told her mother, "Mommy, I never won anything." And that is why she cried, because she got a medal.
Recognition.
Right? She got the medal for the first time in her life and for something that she's just learned today. Now, the importance of sports, that is what we are talking about. The fact that sports is out of school in Nelson Mandela Bay and throughout probably the country, it's a big problem, right? The fact that sports, even clubs, it's so expensive to access sports at the moment. If you want to play hockey, it's very expensive. If you want to play soccer, you need boots, shin guards, alles hy goede. So for us, it is something that we need to tackle, right? You would see that the department itself is split up in four, like I said. The sports aspect, so that we've covered. Then we got the recreation. And then we got arts and we got culture. Now, recreation has to do with parks, swimming pools, St. George's Park, places like Beachview, the resort where we used to go camp. I don't know if you remember.
It's
we used to go
non-existent.
camp, and that used to be our place. We used to grow up. We grew up practically by Beachview and Maitlands and Gate Number 5, Noordhoek. These were our places. Now, if you look at Noordhoek, if you look at, we call it Lawaaikamp, Gate 5.
Yeah.
If you look at all these places, when we were there as children, it still looks the same place. Same way.
Yeah.
It's the same place we remember. There's not one toilet that's been added. There's not lighting. I keep on saying lightning when I come on this show. But that's the PA was bringing lightning.
Yeah.
And the development is just non-existent, right? So these are things that we want to touch up in this show. Just talk to you about where do we go from here. When we take office in November, we just found out that the date might be the 1st to the 18th November.
Okay.
So it is on, man.
Yes,
It is
yes,
on.
yes.
So by the 19th, when we take office, or the 20th, you must hold us to account. Come back and watch these videos. Hold us to account, right? So I want to focus on the sports, recreation. Arts and culture, we will touch on a little bit, but I think the main focus is these things that's busy dying. And if we don't grab it now and put our hands on it, it will be dead when our children grow up.
So let's entertain sports first, because I kind of feel like not enough is being invested in its infrastructure to make sure that, yes, maybe the boots and the balls, that comes afterwards, but if there's no field,
Yeah.
what's going to happen there?
So I get a lot of emails and WhatsApps from clubs, soccer clubs, mostly soccer clubs, now and then rugby, but mostly soccer clubs, and they are asking for help, right? Everybody is asking for help because the city does not help our clubs, right? There are federations, associations like NAFA
Yeah.
that's getting money from the city, but we don't see that money pull through to the clubs. We've seen ailments within the clubs where parents have to fork out thousands of rands to go somewhere. We've seen tournaments that there's prize money, but the prize money never gets paid. So these are issues that we need to address. So for us, the crux is, what do we do with sports when we come in? Firstly, we need to hold people accountable.
Yeah.
People like NAFA and all the other federations that's getting money from the Nelson Mandela Bay municipality. These people need to open up their books and they need to account for every cent that they've received from us, right? Because we need to now measure what we've given you versus the state of soccer in your designated area or your geographical zone, right? If we see but the state of soccer is declining, but we keep on forking money, then we need to stop the money and we need to open up investigations to see who's taking money. If there's board of directors that's paying themselves salaries, we need to see that. We need to look at all these things. We need to look at the agreement between the city and these associations or federations, right? So that's one of the first places we start is by holding people accountable.
That's getting money.
The city we cannot sit here and discuss budget, but we don't know how our money is being used. Our president, Minister Gayton McKenzie, said it when he came into office, right? And this is his goedes, is om goed te die,
Yeah.
He shared a list of all the artists nationally and the amounts that they are receiving from the government. And some of the artists wanted to go to court. He said, go to court. If we give you money, we want to know what that money is doing. It's not your money. And we are taking the same stance. We cannot just plow money into things and we don't know what our money is doing. Right? And so that's the first order of business. We need to open up the books of everybody that receives money from this city, not just soccer. There's rugby, there's karate clubs, there's a lot of people that gets money from the city in this department. So that's the one thing. Secondly, what we need to do is we need to have a stronger tie between the city and the clubs directly, right? We need to engage them on a level where if the associations doesn't work, we need to find a way to reroute money directly to the clubs. For example, I get a WhatsApp today, now, before we got here, from a club, they just got a lease on their own premises, but there's absolutely nothing. It's just a grond, droge grond. They managed to get a grader in today, and they graded the whole place, and already it looks like something.
Yes.
But I know for a fact it's going to cost money now to get grass on that thing.
Sure.
To get the fence around it, to even get the stand, right? It's going to cost money. The city doesn't have a plan to support clubs like this. Our stance is child in sport is a child out of court.
Sure.
So it only makes sense that we need to find a mechanism to help these clubs to build. There's clubs, rugby clubs like Harlequins. That stadium is falling into pieces. There was mayors there, previous mayors, they went to go take pictures. Die een mayor loop daar, het 'n gevaarlike hairstyle. Hy loop daar met 'n measuring tape. And I mean, you are a mayor, you're walking around with a measuring tape, and that was 4 years ago. And Harlequins is still dilapidated. Harlequins doesn't have a lease, so they can't fix the place themselves. Sure. They're struggling to get the lease. So these are ailments that I want to tackle when we go in, especially in the northern areas, right? We need to be straight about something. There are more people dying in the northern areas by gun violence than anywhere in this country.
In South Africa.
You can go check it. If we can't focus on the ailment, we'll just be putting plasters here and plasters there and plasters there.
There's no use bringing in the army, but you don't fix what's actually causing the problem. But obviously it helps.
So we are glad for the army. We called the army.
Definitely.
The army is coming. But what do we do with the kids now?
Yes.
When they are done with drugs, when they are done with gangsterism, what do we do with them? So our plan is to form like a MOU directly with clubs. You obviously will need to comply with this few things.
Sure.
Your structures moet in plek is, everything needs to be in place. Your whole, how the club works, your constitution en allerlei goed. Je kan nou nie met 'n 7-a-side kom wat jy nie pad self aan mekaar gesit het.
And then expect
100 days nie.
So we spoke off camera about an MOU and how it actually works, and I kind of feel like, you know what, the normal viewer won't always understand what it's about. Please break it down as you've broken it down earlier on.
So we spoke about the swimming pools, right?
Sure.
And that is also one aspect of SREC, but on the side of recreation.
Sure.
Falls under facilities. So you would remember Galvandale swimming pool, ons pads, right? I bad just toe gewees vir 8 jaar, for 8 years. It was closed and there wasn't much damage to the place. The pool was still intact. Alles was mooi agter gekyk. The caretaker there, Keith, did a brilliant job. And he's still doing a brilliant job. So I bad just toe for 8 jaar. And in that 8 years, we had multiple mayors and they never had interest in that. The last straw came when we won the, not when we won, well, I say we won the election 2024 because we became the biggest winners. We got a department that's giving back so much things to colored people and in colored communities.
And that's a win.
And that's a big win for us.
Okay.
So when we got a minister, right? And that was one thing. But there was a time when the mayor of Nelson Mandela Bay at the time was Retief. He did something that really touched us to the core. There was 1 million rand, right? That was allocated for pools, to fix 7 to 8 pools. Just 1 million. Skrale miljoen
that's
mensen.
nothing.
Skrale miljoen. And he took that money and he gave it to a golf tournament for 1 day here in Summerstrand, Umud. That money was blown in 1 day and our kids still didn't have facilities to swim in. Daai ding het vir ons getouch, right? We then said to the minister, Minister, jy moet 'n plan maak. We voted for you. We voted for you. As a kind of circle, so we can't depend on the system. The system is sending our money to golf, to international players. Here we have a crisis. Children goes to streets, they get shot, they get killed, maar die pools is toe. Hulle kon heeldag geswem het. You remember, we swam for a whole day op 2 sneetjiesbrood en 'n bietjie Vaseline. Asphalt. So when that happened, the minister actually responded. And he said, look, I'm going to fix the pool. But now the pool doesn't belong to the minister. The pool belongs to the municipality. What then happens is we enter into an agreement with the city. It's called an MOU, a Memorandum of Understanding, where the minister say, look, I've got so much money. I want to fix your asset. Hand over the asset to me. I will fix it. When it's done, I'll hand it back. And that agreement was met between Nelson Mandela Bay Municipality and DSEC, which is the minister's department. They ended up fixing that pool. My maat, if you go check the videos on social media, when that pool opened, the minister came to cut the ribbon. 3,000 children descended on that pool, right? Some of the children were 6, 7, 8 years old. And the highlight of that was that some of their children, 6, 7, and 8, they've never seen the inside of this thing. They walk around, they play around, they don't know what is on the inside. For the first time in their entire life, a skrale minister kom met sy krag and they say, I'll fix it for you in 30 days. And die Here hoor my, he fixed it in 30 days. And that pool is still operating today. Right? So that is the power that we have right now as the PA. Many people will say, the opposition will come here, they'll watch this episode, they'll say, yeah, but there's not enough money in SREC. And I'll agree with them. There's not enough money there. We need to we need to open up the budget and plow more money in. That is what we need to do. One, that's something that nobody ever wanted to touch on. But the second thing is, we've got ons gevaarlike minister wat sy phone optel. As die mense wat gevoed het vir hom, as hulle hom bel, guess what he does? Hy tel sy phone op. Right? So we can tap into resources. Nothing to ask. It's nothing to ask. You can get a yes or you can get a no. Right? And I know if we get a no, it's not because it's a no, it's because there might not be enough room, space in the budget to get to everything. But the option is there for us to use that MOU between the city and the office of the minister. And that is what power is. That is why you vote for the PA, because that is how we use our power. Right? There are many projects that the minister will probably still bring to Nelson Mandela Bay. I'm knocking on his door. And then the last thing, we talk about MOU, is that the office of the minister and the office of the minister of the education, they also enter into a MOU. They said, the minister of DSEC, Katie McKenzie, said to the minister of education, kykie, jy het skole, ek het combi courts. Kom ons maak 'n style. And they agreed, and the minister is now building new combi courts. Combi courts is a multi-purpose sports facility.
Sure, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You can play 7 to 8 sports on it.
Sure.
And the minister built one for us in the northern areas in July last year.
I think it's the first in the northern
It's
areas,
the first in
yeah.
the northern areas where a combi court has been built in the yard of Sengto Primary, and it's still standing. The kids are still enjoying it. That's the power of MOU, and that's the power of having a seat at the table here and having a seat at the table there. right? So that's what's important for us is we need to tap in. We do have a plan. And we do have mechanisms where we run short with budgets, right? We must cut somewhere. I'm happy to cut. If I must cut every single cent that goes to NAFA, I will cut it.
Sure.
I'll cut it.
Okay, so you are touching once again on NAFA. Now you know me. I don't necessarily headhunt people or like I try and avoid fights. But earlier this week, someone came up to me and said, "You know what? I actually spoke to the teller, and this person introduced me to the teller, and I don't know this person." And I'm like, then he tells the teller who I am, and he watches the podcast, etc. And he says that why touch on NAFA when it's the only thing working and it does well. And now I'm not so into soccer and sport, etc. I know the importance of it. However, if I can watch my Springboks Rugby World Cup, then that's it, nothing else, you know. But I know that it's working because I have relatives that are actually participating in it, and I was at the hall there in Galvindale recently, and I saw how beautiful it is and how they are looking after it. But we never spoke about NAFA in any previous episode, so I don't know whether lopen met the helm or what.
No. So let me bring you into context here.
Okay.
So I'm very straightforward when it comes to things, right?
Sure.
You might avoid a fight, but I want
Yeah,
to
I know you are head on.
I want to uncover thing.
Yeah.
If parents comes to me
Yeah.
and they say, look here, I had to pay X, Y, and Z amount for my children to go there. We paid all the money over to NAFA. Toe die kinders daar kom, toe eet hulle polony brood, ou brood, stil brood. Die accommodations die mekaar. It's worth looking into. Not from the perspective of NAFA or how good you think they are, or that's irrelevant. The fact is a child was left stranded and people were left to fend for themselves, and parents. Now here's where the thing come in. The PA is one of the fastest growing parties in the city. And it's also one of the fastest growing parties in the country.
Sure.
Nobody can deny it. Somebody must try it. They can't deny it. So what does that mean? When somebody comes to you as a member, their child might be a member of a certain football club that is associated to NAFA or falls under NAFA.
Yes.
But that parent is still a member of the PA.
Okay.
It's the onus on me to make sure every complaint that comes, I look into it. I take it to the leaders in the wards, I take it to them, and they look into it. Now, I've been a councillor before, I've been an MMC, and it's always been the same complaints, right? There were times when NAFA hit back on social media directly with my name, and it was a tit for tat.
Okay.
So we didn't engage them. For us is, we need to look if there's a fire or a smoky, there must be a fire. If there's no fire, then it's fine.
Sure.
But if clubs are struggling, and there is a little personal gripe, and I'll explain it to you now, then we need to look into why clubs are struggling. If there's a body that's receiving money
Sure.
to look after kids and the talent, then we need to understand why. If kids are asked to pay hundreds rands, thousands rands, but we are funding, we need to look, is the money filtering down to the kids?
Sure.
Or is it
The boy.
paying for that nice hall that you saw, which belongs to the city, doesn't belong to NAFA, right? So we need to look at these things. We did something in Arcadia for Park United. And at the time, Arcadia was one of the worst places for gang violence. Every second week, Park United would bury one of the players.
Wow.
And that was how it went. We came in as a PA, we said, look here, let's do something, man. We arranged a derby between Westlake and Park United.
Yeah.
And we actually paid them money, right? That kids actually went home to put food on the table.
Sure.
And then the next week, we gave Park United won that derby. We made them a T-shirt to say champions.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And we put our logo on. Now the T-shirt doesn't belong to Park United. It's for the kids. It's not a soccer. It's not a club T-shirt. It's just a general T-shirt that you wear in the street, not on the field. And Park United was called to order. they were asked to disassociate themselves from PA, right?
Okay.
And we left it. It wasn't for us. It wasn't that was an issue between Park United and NAFA if they wanted to challenge each other. But for us, the fact that kids are dying, and you want to play politics, so we stepped forward and we said, all right, ons gaan nou terugspeel politics, right?
Okay.
So
That's where it comes from.
so if you walk and people see you are interviewing Bradley Murray, and they bring up NAFA without you even knowing, it means that NAFA is well aware what's coming when we step into that office.
Okay. I obviously don't want to get sued, so everyone's opinion that comes on the podcast, it's that of their own, and it's not the view of the podcast itself. Not that I'm saying that I'm not agreeing with you, so I don't know enough to have a how can I say, a strong opinion on it. But thank you for bringing the facts and opening up where some of us overlook, because remember what I said in the beginning. This podcast is all about us hearing who the person is running for mayor or who's running for councillor and what they are about and how the city is actually run. Because most of us don't know how it's run.
Exactly. So I just wanted to tell you, we are not just focused on the NAFA. NAFA
Yes,
is
yes,
just
yes,
the
yes,
one
yes,
we
yes,
know
yes,
about.
yes.
So there are many that gets money.
Yeah.
There's ballet that gets money. So we need to look at everybody. If ballet is you only see white children dancing there, but we give you money, we need to look into it. Do you
Sure.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is something we can't just plow money in. If we have a shortage of money, we need to see where we are wasting money, and we need to take it and redirect it past these places. Give it to the clubs. Ons sê vir die club wat nou geskryf het op hulle veld agter die Golden
Yes.
Fountain. All right, we are blocking all the monies going to the associations. Hierso plant vir julle gras. Right, dan gaan ons na die ander ene toe. Hierso sit vir julle fence op. Then we go to the next one. Hierso koop vir julle boots en goede.
I've actually just started growing some grass, so maybe I can get it there. I'm joking.
Tenderpreneur.
But it's actually nice to get inside info on learning how the city runs, and especially when it comes to sport. Much of the crime wouldn't exist if we actually have from school up, and not only just focus. We maybe only watching our professionals, etc., on TV, etc. But if we don't look at these little ones, then they will never get there.
Yeah. So the next thing on that thing is recreation, right? We spoke about the swimming pools.
Sure.
So currently you have Galvin that is fixed, right? We still have Shorter.
I grew up in Shoreville. I was going to bring up Shoreville.
Shorter got, they broke it off bit by bit,
Yes.
right? So that pool needs to be fixed, right? There is a current debate between the PA and the DA, right? That says, the PA says, we built the pool where it was. The DA wants to take the pool up to the dike, right? Now, that doesn't make sense for us because the dike is right next to Newton Park. And here's a Newton Park swimming just across the road. So we don't want to take a facility in the heart of a community and go put him there on a flat where the children will risk danger to walk so far.
So
right?
let me give some inside info. So I moved out of Shoreville the year 2000. So it's 2025 now. So but going up there, if the swimming pool is gonna be, the swimming pool is in the middle of Shorter.
Right
so
now,
we call that the Anakanse hand, and the Anakanse hand call us the Anakanse hand. So it's in the middle, so no one can own it. And I think it's actually perfect where it is.
Yeah. So when we talk about infrastructure in recreation, right? We are talking about facilities that's been dilapidated. Now, there are parties that's calling for new things to be built, right? We are saying let's fix the old ones first and let's maintain them. We don't want to build something and we can't maintain it. Let's fix the old ones. You are correct that the Shorter one is right in the center.
Yeah, it's right in the center.
You can take a taxi and stop right there.
Yes.
Everybody can enjoy
Yes.
it, not just people of Shorter.
But there at the dike, Jameson houdt er echt op. No, it's too
Look
far
here,
from the ones from the first stop.
I dated this gevaarlijke kind. Yo, I must bring a stukje in. We are talking about James and Road. I dated this gevaarlijke kind. She lived there in top in Newton Park. By die dijk. The
Sure.
first street in Newton Park. En ek het net taxi fare om tot in Soda te kom, man.
Ja.
Ek kan nie abi koste nou Newton Park taxi vat ja, maar ek huis te loop boys in Park toe. Hier dan slat ek Jameson Road hier op my bro. Sjoe, sjoe, sjoe. Elke tyd as ek haar gaan visit. And it's worth it. She's my wife today. Ons raak 20 jaar getroud die jaar. En Jameson Road, nee, it was a blessing. It was a blessing. But yeah, so that one, we agree on that one. It needs to be rebuilt right there.
Right weight is definitely.
And the nice thing, the arts and culture part of SREC, there's a plan currently. I'm going to share it on my social media for Soda Pool, right? The Soda Pool will be rebuilt
Sure.
on the plan. En a hele kampie.
Die kampie is mos net daar.
Right.
Yeah.
A hele kamp. And the kampie at the moment is an eyesore. It's a problem. People are dying there.
I can
Girls
imagine.
are getting raped and killed. We need to do something about that company.
Yeah.
And on this plan, there's an entire cultural village that's planned, including a theater. Julle ouens wat so lekker gevaarlik sing. You can actually go there and you can la.
Yes, yes,
You
yes.
can do your thing, and that's the plan. Now, when we come in, it's a plan on paper now. Everybody looks past it because normally officials just give you a budget and say, no, this is what we have.
Okay.
With us, we will cancel certain things. We mustn't be afraid to cancel certain things, right? In the previous episode, we spoke about evergreen contracts.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember, where people are just getting
Yes,
for 50,
yes.
60, 70 years contracts. We must stop those things. And we must take the money and build things for our people a little
Some
bit.
of it has even started way back in the apartheid. and
Apartheid
it's still-
time. It's still running. So we need to be bold enough to say we are stopping money to all these places.
Yeah.
And we are focusing on us a little bit. Dit mos nou ons tyd, right? We need to focus on our people. We can't have our children killing each other on the streets. And we do nothing about it. I see most people are commenting, but you kill yourself. You know, and that thing it's an ignorant
Yes.
comment that you will never understand if you didn't grow up in the northern areas. So for us, that is one of the crucial things. We need to rebuild Soda Pool, but with that addition, the company needs to be revamped.
Yes.
As jy bo in Goddardstraat staan,
Yeah.
dan moet jy 'n hele cultural
Wow.
heritage site sien voor jou. Nie klomp bosse en bome en rubbishy, right? Vandaan hoor jy screams. hoor jy hulle-
That's
hulle
where
kop.
people go to smoke.
Yeah. So that's one aspect. Then we go to our beaches. We spoke about beach view. Our beautiful beach view. Beach view has been left like that because the municipality doesn't have an appetite to fix things, right? The culture of the PA is we don't build anything new.
Yeah.
We fix what is broken and we maintain it. We'll bring it up to a standard that's acceptable, like the Galvandale swimming pool, and we maintain it, right? So beach view is the same thing. There we need to work on partnerships. So there's something in the system they call a triple P, public-private partnership, right? So public is government, municipality. Private is the owns, the companies, wat geld het.
Business.
So they form a partnership, and that's called a triple P. How it works is that the municipality will come out and say, look, we are setting out a tender, right? And this is our plan. We want to set out a tender or a contract for a private company to partner with us. That project is probably going to cost close to 300-400 million rand in phases to bring Beachview up to one of the best resorts you will find in the Eastern Cape.
Yes.
That is the plan. Gaan Willows toe, hulle roep hom White Willows. Jy kan maar gaan slaap teen Beachview when we are done with it. These are things that we want to implement, but because the budget is so much, we must be honest with ourselves. We will not be able to do it from the city's pockets
Yeah,
alone.
it must be a business. Yeah,
So-
profit generating
So
business.
you know about OPM, other people's money,
Yes.
buying houses and
Yes,
real estate and
yes,
stuff,
yes.
right? So as a municipality, we need to look in that direction.
Yeah.
We need to use other people's money to upgrade our facilities, and we enter into a partnership where they run these facilities
Sure.
as a business, not as municipality and the friends come in and get a tender, dan lyk dit soos dit nou lyk.
That's why we need to have business people in
Yeah,
office.
so that is the plan we have for Beachview. I am talking about probably close to 100 units, if not more. Talking about swimming pools, caravan parks, tents. The hele galore. There's a tidal pool. There's a stretch of beach that is just clear.
Yeah, I actually looked at it, and some of the plots actually opened up there, but because Beachview is out of order, I think those plots, even their value, yeah.
So if you are in the market to buy plot near Beachview, I'm telling you, if the PA take over, except you, Masakan, we will find people, other people's money outside of the system, and we'll strike a deal with them. I don't know if you're watching Donald Trump. Donald
Yeah.
Trump is all about making deals.
Yes.
Maar
Bring us money.
Jy kry die reporter vra, are you gonna bomb Iran? Wait, but if we're gonna make a deal,
Yeah.
and so, but if we're gonna make a deal, it's all about making deals, right? And in that sense, I could say
Yes,
agree with it
yes,
or not
yes,
agree
yes.
with it, but in that sense, we need to use other people's money. We need to bring the skills into play here if we're gonna save our resorts. If that one works, just imagine hoe lyk die hele beach road van die begin af reg deur.
Yeah.
Gate 1, Gate 2, Noord toe, Lawaai-Kam. Oh my goodness. These are plans that we have. It's plans,
Sure.
but it's achievable plans,
Yeah.
right?
Family, remember, we are not giving financial advice. Don't go and say, now, you know what, you invested into this and the up-and-coming mayor, should he be elected as mayor, said you must invest there. So this is a conversation between the two of us, and these are the plans that Mr. Maher is laying out. But should you come into office?
When
When you come
when
into
the PA
office.
steps in.
Okay, and we are not living in a perfect world, but let's say in a perfect world, everything goes according to plan. When can we have a functional beach view?
It's going to take years, right? So we need to respect that there's a process, number one, right? So the first order of business is we need to draft an item to council or first to standing committee. That item must say, look, we are intending to approach external companies to help us rebuild our facilities, especially our tourist destinations, right? Then it goes to standing committee, it must pass there, then only it goes to council. Then it passes in council. Once it's passed in council, we then authorize the city manager to send out a advert.
Okay.
And that advert must be placed as soon as possible so that interested parties can say, hey, I want to apply. I got 300 million I want to apply. I have a $500 million I want to apply. Right? And we will set, we want to look, what is your plans? Because it's our facility, it's our land, but it's also your money, so we need to respect you for that. And you need to, vice versa, respect us. So those people that will come in with their monies, they must then say, all right, this is the plan, this is the plan, this is the plan. Then we enter into an agreement with them. Once we reach an agreement stage, then only construction can start, fixing can start. So that is the longest part, is the construction and the building of it, right? But the other things we can get done in 3 to 4 months, the administrative things.
Okay.
We can get it through council. We can get it in an advert, and hopefully we can get successful bidders in a space of 3 to 4 months, right? So that is in a perfect world. But you know, in previous episodes, we did say there are officials that's not in line with what you want to achieve. We need to sweep clean first. We need to get rid of these officials, right? Everybody that is hindering growth in the city, we must get out. We must remove them. So that's Beachview. That's the plan for Beachview, and all the other resorts you find in the Beachview strip, Beachview, Marine Drive. I think the only private one there is Pine Lodge, not Pine Lake. And that's the only private one, you see. And another one,
Springs.
yeah. So the other one is Springs in Utrecht,
Utrecht.
Kariga. Oh, mensen. That is such a beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful place.
We used to go there
Space-wise.
when I was younger.
Hoor je, maar je hebt ook all over gegaan hier?
I'm resident in Nelson Mandela Bay.
You were a tourist here first.
Yes.
So Springs, we need to spend money in Springs, right? We need to apply the same thing. The city cannot look after the facilities. That is a given, right? As it stands now, they cannot.
Yeah.
I'm not going to come in as a mayor and go try and find people that can manage it.
Yeah.
Right? Because then I'm going to put my own people there. I'll
Sure.
find nonsense on. We need to have a same approach that we have at
Entrepreneurs,
Beachview with Springs.
business people.
Make sure companies come in, they invest their money, not ours.
Sure.
And they take the risk with us.
Yeah.
So if they fail, it's their money also on the line.
Sure.
Right? So Spring is one of the places that we have earmarked alongside Beachview to start at the same time. The same contracts must go out, the same adverts must go out. People
Yes.
must apply. Those who have money, jy kan nou nie. Ek weet nie van jou nie, maar ek is uit. Ek gaan nie apply nie, ek het nie geld nie. And then we need to start running it from that. So these are the places that we've earmarked, that we've seen. This is our cultural placement. Dit was waar ons gaan Christmas Eve.
And when those things happen, then tourism will pick up and everything
Exactly.
will start working.
Exactly. So that is in a nutshell where we bring in sports, recreation, arts, and culture as the PA. It's a plan that we've thought through, we saw it. When we were in council, we already said, guys, let's do this. Unfortunately, we don't have enough seats in council right now. So that advice is not yielding any fruits at the moment. So that's why we are on the ground, making sure we get the votes to put us in the seats so that our councillors don't need ANC or DA or EFF or any other new political that pop up. We just have ourselves and we will look after our people. Trust us with it.
Mr. Marai, thank you so much once again for taking out the time to be here and sharing with us your plans and sharing a bit more of the person who potentially people will be voting for. Family, thank you so much for tuning in. And if you got any value from this, please let us know what did you like about it. And if there are any questions that you would like for me to ask future guests on the show, please let us know in the comments what it is, and then we will make sure to actually ask them those questions. And don't forget, please do subscribe so you can actually be notified the next time we upload another episode. Thank you so much.